Imagine standing on a shore where the very ground you walk on begins to glow with an unearthly blue light with every step you take, as if you're wading through a piece of the Milky Way that has fallen to Earth. This isn't a scene from a fantasy movie. This is a real phenomenon, and it's happening right now on a handful of beaches across our planet. Welcome, everyone. If you've ever felt that the standard sunset beach photo was getting a little mundane, if you've ever looked up at a sky washed out by city lights and wondered what the true majesty of the cosmos looks like, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are embarking on a profound journey that merges the primal pull of the ocean with the infinite mystery of space. We're not just talking about a dark beach, we are talking about experiencing a beach under a star-filled night sky in its most complete, awe-inspiring, and scientifically profound sense. This video is your ultimate guide to understanding not just the where, but the profound how and why. We will decode the celestial map above the waves, uncover the secret bioluminescent worlds beneath them, and explore the profound psychological impact this specific environment has on the human mind. If you're ready to have your perception of a simple beach vacation completely revolutionized, to learn how to plan an encounter with the universe that will forever change your definition of beauty, then you must do this one thing right now. Hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Because what I'm about to share with you is a meticulously researched, data-backed deep dive into one of nature's most perfect synergies, and you will not want to miss a single second of what comes next. This is more than a travel tip. It's an invitation to witness a fundamental truth about our planet and our place within the cosmos, starting with the very sand beneath your feet. Let's begin with the stage itself, the beach at night, stripped of the sun's overwhelming dominance. Data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and dark sky advocacy groups like the International Dark Sky Association reveals a startling fact. Over 80% of the global population lives under light-polluted skies, meaning a truly star-filled night is now a rare privilege, not a common right. A beach, by its very geographical nature, often provides one of the last accessible frontiers for pristine darkness. The open horizon, usually free from the towering light spill of urban centers, creates a natural amphitheater for the heavens. But the science goes deeper. The specific atmospheric conditions on a coastline, the cleaner air, the steady, often cooler temperatures over the water, and the lack of particulate pollution can lead to what astronomers call superior seeing. This isn't just a poetic term, it's a quantifiable measure of atmospheric stability. On a night with good seeing, the stars don't just shine, they hold steady, sharp pinpoints of light, allowing you to discern colors, the reddish hue of Antares, the cool blue of Vega, with a clarity that inland locations often blur. Furthermore, the beach offers a unique 180-degree unobstructed view from horizon to horizon. This is critical because it allows you to witness the entire celestial sphere's rotation. You can see constellations rising from the sea like ancient mariners' guides and watch them arc across the vault of heaven before plunging back into the watery abyss on the opposite side. This panoramic vista is impossible in a forest or a mountain valley, making the coastline a uniquely privileged astronomical observatory. The sensory experience is also rooted in pure physics. The sound of the waves acts as a constant, rhythmic white noise, a natural soundtrack that has been shown in numerous psychological studies to lower cortisol levels and induce a state of calm alertness, perfect for contemplation. The smell of salt and ozone, charged by the crash of waves, cleanses the palate of your mind, removing the mental clutter of daily life. And then there's the sand, which after a day absorbing the sun's heat, slowly releases it through the night, creating a gentle warmth underfoot that contrasts with the cool night air, grounding you literally and metaphorically. This isn't a passive viewing experience. It's a full-body immersion into an environment that has been a constant for millennia, yet feels utterly new when consciously experienced. Every element, from the vast darkness to the rhythmic pulse of the ocean, is engineered by nature to prepare you for the main event, the upward look, the engagement with the cosmos that has dictated tides, inspired mythologies, and navigated explorers for all of human history. This foundational understanding of the beach as a perfect planetary stage sets the scene for the incredible celestial drama we are about to explore. Now let's lift our gaze from the terrestrial to the celestial, to the true protagonist of our experience, the star-filled sky itself. But we are moving far beyond just saying, look, there are stars. We are going to understand what you are actually looking at, the colossal scale and dynamic processes that make this silent spectacle possible. First, let's dismantle a common misconception. When you look at a starry sky, you are not looking at a static, two-dimensional painting. You are looking into a deep, three-dimensional field, a cross-section of our galaxy, where distance and time are intimately intertwined. The light from the star Sirius, the brightest in our night sky, has traveled for over 8 years to reach your eyes. You are seeing it not as it is now, but as it was when a child starting primary school today was born. The light from the Orion Nebula, that fuzzy patch in Orion's sword, is over 1,300 years old, meaning it began its journey when empires were rising and falling in the early medieval period. And the faint glow of the Andromeda Galaxy, just visible to the naked eye on a pristine beach night, is 2.5 million years old, a photon that started its voyage when early hominids were first crafting stone tools. This isn't just stargazing, it's literal time travel, and the beach is your launch pad. Now let's talk about the sheer numbers. On a typical light-polluted city night, you might see a few dozen stars. On a clear, dark beach, that number explodes to several thousand, according to data from global sky quality surveys. The difference between a suburban sky and a true dark sky site can be a factor of 100 invisible stars. Your eyes, given about 20 to 30 minutes to fully dark adapt, can perceive stars down to about magnitude 6.5. This biological process involves the dilation of your pupils and a chemical shift from cone-dominated to rod-dominated vision, maximizing sensitivity in low light. This is why astronomers and serious night sky viewers insist on using only red light to preserve this delicate dark adaptation. The spectacle includes more than just stars. You will witness the band of the Milky Way, our home galaxy seen from within, arching across the sky like a spilled river of diamonds. This is the combined light of hundreds of billions of stars too distant to resolve individually in the plane of our spiral galaxy. With modest binoculars, that band resolves into countless stars, star clusters, and dark nebulae clouds of cosmic dust blocking the light behind them. You might see satellites, dozens of them, gliding silently as they catch the sun's light from over the horizon, a reminder of our own world's presence in that space. You will see meteors or shooting stars, which are tiny particles, often no larger than a grain of sand, vaporizing in our atmosphere at speeds of tens of kilometers per second, creating brief, brilliant streaks. Data from the American Meteor Society shows that on any given dark night, a single observer can see between 2 to 10 random meteors per hour during a major meteor shower. Like the Geminids, that rate can soar to 60 or even 100 per hour, transforming the sky into a silent fireworks display. Then there are the planets, which don't twinkle like stars but shine with a steady, proud light as they wander through the constellations of the zodiac. Identifying them connects you to the observations of every human civilization. The sky is also alive with human-made phenomena, the eerie, slow dance of auroras if you're at high enough latitudes, caused by charged particles from the sun interacting with Earth's magnetic field. Or the fleeting, sun-illumined passes of the International Space Station, a moving testament to human cooperation, orbiting 250 miles above. Every single point of light has a story, a physical reality, a distance, a life cycle. Understanding that the bright red star is a cool supergiant in its old age, while the bright blue one is a ferociously hot young star, adds layers of meaning to the beauty. This celestial knowledge transforms the sky from a pretty backdrop into a dynamic, living map of our galactic neighborhood, a map you are a part of simply by standing there, looking up from the edge of the sea. But the universe's mirror isn't only above you. On the luckiest of nights, it is also beneath your feet, in the very surf you are standing in. This brings us to one of the most magical intersections on Earth. When a star-filled sky meets a bioluminescent sea, this phenomenon turns the beach into a 360-degree cosmic experience. Bioluminescence is cold light produced by living organisms through a biochemical reaction, typically involving a molecule called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase. In marine environments, the most common culprits for large-scale displays are dinoflagellates, microscopic plankton. When disturbed by waves, the wake of a boat, or even your footsteps in the wet sand, these organisms flash a brilliant blue-green light as a defense mechanism, likely to startle predators. The science is precise. Flash is triggered by a mechanical shear stress on the cell membrane, which opens ion channels and causes a change in pH within specialized organelles called scintillons, initiating the chemical reaction that emits light. This isn't random magic, it's cellular-level biomechanics. The data on where and when to see this is rooted in oceanography. These blooms often occur in warm, nutrient-rich waters, frequently in calm bays or inlets with lower predation pressure. Places like Mosquito Bay in Vieques, Puerto Rico, considered the brightest bioluminescent bay in the world. The Maldives or parts of California and Australia become famous for these displays. Satellite data tracking sea surface temperature, chlorophyll concentration, a proxy for plankton biomass, and water movement patterns are now used by researchers and savvy tour operators to predict the likelihood and intensity of a bloom. When conditions align, the experience is transcendent. As a wave curls and breaks, it outlines itself in a neon blue glow. As you drag your hand through the water, a trail of glittering light follows. If you swim, your entire body is outlined in a shimmering aura. Now combine this with our star-filled sky. You look up and see the Milky Way, the vast, slow, ancient light of distant suns. You look down and see the Milky Way's echo in the sea, the immediate, responsive, living light of Earth's own tiny creatures. The philosophical parallel is inescapable. You are standing at the nexus of the macrocosm and the microcosm, between the galactic and the cellular, both speaking the universal language of light. This synergy creates a sensory overload in the best possible way, a full immersion that bypasses the analytical mind and speaks directly to a sense of primal wonder. It shatters the illusion of separation between ourselves and our environment. Furthermore, the color is not a coincidence. The blue-green light, around 480 nanometers wavelength, travels farthest in water, a result of evolutionary optimization. But it also happens to be a stunning visual complement to the warm yellow and cool white points of starlight above. The effect is of being inside a planetarium where the dome is the actual universe, and the floor is a living, reactive mirror. This experience is also fleeting and fragile, highlighting the delicate balance of our marine ecosystems. Pollution, changes in water temperature and salinity from climate change, and even light pollution from shore-based development can severely impact or destroy these bioluminescent populations. Witnessing this, therefore, becomes not just a tourist activity, but a profound lesson in ecological interconnectivity. It's a visceral reminder that the beauty of our planet is often a function of its health. The data tells us these displays are becoming more vulnerable, making the opportunity to see one under a pristine dark sky an increasingly rare and precious privilege. It turns a night at the beach into a powerful, silent advocacy for conservation. You leave not just with memories of beauty, but with a tangible understanding of what we stand to lose, making you an inadvertent ambassador for the protection of these dark and watery realms. The emotional impact is profound, often described as a spiritual or deeply humbling experience. grounding the vastness of space in the intimate, living pulse of our own world's oceans. Having explored the external spectacle, we must now journey inward to the profound and measurable impact this environment, a beach under a star-filled sky, has on the human psyche, our neurology, and our very sense of self. This isn't just poetic musing, it's a conclusion supported by a growing body of research in psychology, neuroscience, and even public health. Let's start with the concept of awe. Psychologists Dacher Keltner and Jonathan Haidt define awe as the emotion we experience in the presence of vast stimuli that transcend our current understanding of the world. It is often accompanied by a sense of wonder, a feeling of smallness, and a need to update our mental framework. Few environments trigger awe as reliably and powerfully as the combined vastness of the ocean and the cosmos. Studies, such as those published in the journal Emotion, have shown that experiencing awe has tangible benefits. It reduces levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, slows our subjective perception of time, making us feel like we have more of it, increases feelings of connectedness and generosity, and diminishes the emphasis on the individual self, a phenomenon known as the small self. When you stand on that beach, feeling tiny against the ocean and the universe, your brain isn't just having a feeling, it's undergoing a therapeutic neurochemical shift. The constant, rhythmic sound of waves is classified as pink noise, a type of sound with a frequency spectrum that has been proven in research from institutions like Northwestern University to enhance deep sleep and improve memory consolidation. This auditory input, combined with the visual rest of a dark landscape punctuated only by gentle, distant points of light, as opposed to the glaring blue light-rich screens of modern life, allows the brain's default mode network to activate. This is the network associated with mind-wandering, introspection, and creative thinking. It's where we make sense of our experiences, weave narratives, and solve complex problems. In our hyper-connected world, this network is constantly interrupted. The beach at night forces the interruption to cease, giving your brain the space it craves to process, heal, and create. Furthermore, the act of looking at the stars engages our innate capacity for pattern recognition, a survival skill hardwired into our brains. Finding constellations is a calming, rewarding exercise for the mind. It's also a deeply humbling exercise in perspective-taking, known in psychology as self-distancing. By contemplating your place in a universe of billions of galaxies, personal anxieties can shrink to a more manageable size. This is not about dismissing problems, but about gaining a healthier, broader context for them. This environment also taps into our evolutionary heritage. For millennia, humans lived closely attuned to natural cycles, the diurnal cycle of day and night, the lunar cycle, the seasonal cycles marked by stellar movements. Modern life has severed that connection. Being on a beach under a real night sky is a form of rewilding for the mind. It reestablishes a connection to the fundamental rhythms that shaped our ancestors' consciousness. Data from sleep studies shows that exposure to true natural darkness, free from artificial light pollution, helps regulate our circadian rhythms by allowing for the proper production of melatonin, improving sleep quality and overall health. There is also a social and shared humanity aspect. Throughout history, people have gathered around fires under the stars to share stories. On a beach today, even among strangers, there's a shared, quiet reverence. Conversations tend to become deeper, more philosophical. The shared experience of awe fosters social bonding and a sense of collective wonder that is antithetical to the divisive, fast-paced interactions of online life. In essence, this experience is a form of therapy that is both ancient and urgently modern. It addresses the epidemic of anxiety, the fragmentation of attention, and the disconnection from nature that characterizes much of contemporary life. The data suggests that regular exposure to such expansive natural environments can build psychological resilience, enhance creativity, and foster a greater sense of meaning and purpose. You are not just looking at stars, you are engaging in a deeply restorative neurological and psychological ritual. The beach at night becomes a sanctuary for the modern soul, a place where the noise of the world fades, and you can hear the quieter, older voices of the ocean, the cosmos, your own inner self, finally able to speak and be heard. So how do you transform this from a captivating idea into a tangible, life-changing experience? This final section is your practical, data-driven blueprint. Success depends on meticulous planning that respects both the celestial and terrestrial environments first, and most critically, location and darkness. You cannot compromise on this. Use light pollution maps like the World Atlas of Artificial Night Sky Brightness or the Light Pollution Map website app to find a coastline with a Bertel. Scale classification of 3 or lower. The Bertel scale, developed by astronomer John Bertel, is a 9-level numeric scale that quantifies the observability of celestial objects and the interference caused by light pollution. A Bertel Class 1 site is an exceptional dark sky, while a Class 9 is an inner city sky. For a transformative experience, target Class 3 or better. This often means traveling away from major coastal cities. Research specific dark sky parks or dark sky sanctuaries designated by the International Dark Sky Association. Many are near coastlines or on islands. Next, timing is everything. You must synchronize with the moon. A bright moon will wash out the stars. Use a lunar calendar to plan your trip around the new moon phase. If you want to see the Milky Way core, the most spectacular part, you need to know its seasonal visibility. In the northern hemisphere, the galactic core is most prominent in the summer months, from late evening to pre-dawn. Apps like Tellurium or Sky Safari are invaluable for simulating the night sky at your chosen location and date. Check the weather obsessively. You need clear skies. Websites that provide astronomical seeing forecasts and cloud cover forecasts are essential. Also, research tidal charts. A low tide may expose more interesting terrain, like tidal pools or wider sandy beaches, while understanding the tide schedule is crucial for safety. Now, for bioluminescence, this requires additional research. Look for local tour operators or marine biology centers in your target area. They have real-time knowledge of blooms. Remember, bioluminescence can be seasonal, often peaking in warmer months, but this varies greatly by region. Join local social media groups or forums where enthusiasts share recent sightings. Once you have your location and time, prepare your gear. You do not need a telescope. A comfortable reclining chair or a blanket is paramount. Bring warm clothing in layers. Coastal nights are often much cooler than anticipated. A thermos with a hot drink is a game changer. For navigation and preserving your night vision, use a red light headlamp. Standard white light will ruin your and others' dark adaptation for up to 30 minutes. If you want to capture the memory, a camera with manual settings, a fast wide-angle lens, f2.8 or faster, and a sturdy tripod are necessary. But crucially, dedicate most of your time to experiencing the moment with your own eyes, not through a screen. Practice patience. Your eyes take at least 20 minutes to fully adapt. Sit quietly. Let the sounds of the ocean envelop you. Start by identifying the brightest stars and major constellations. As your eyes adjust, more and more stars will reveal themselves until the sky seems to drip with them. Be mindful of your impact. Follow leave, no trace principles. Pack out everything you bring in. Respect wildlife, both on the beach and in the ocean. Avoid shining lights on nesting turtles or disturbing birds. Your presence should be as unobtrusive as possible. Finally, manage your expectations. Nature is not a theme park ride. You might get clouds, or the bioluminescence might be subtle. But even a partially clear sky, experienced mindfully, can be profound. The goal is not a perfect Instagram shot, but the internal shift that comes from genuine connection. This journey from the initial research using scientific data on light pollution and oceanography, through the careful planning aligned with lunar and celestial cycles, to the mindful, respectful presence on the shore is itself a transformative process. It re-engages you with the natural world in a deliberate, knowledgeable way. It turns you from a passive consumer of scenery into an active participant in a grand, ancient dialogue between land, sea, and sky. You become an observer in the truest scientific and philosophical sense. So, this is your call to action, your essential next step. Don't let this just be a video watched and forgot. Let it be the catalyst. Open a new tab right now and search for a light pollution map. Zoom in on a coastline near you or a place you've dreamed of visiting. Look for that patch of blue or gray on the map that signifies true darkness. Bookmark it. Then check a lunar calendar. Find the next new moon. Write that date down. This simple 5-minute act is the first concrete step out of your daily routine and toward an experience that has the power, as the data shows, to reduce your stress, expand your mind, and reconnect you with a universe of wonder that has been waiting for you all along, just beyond the glow of the streetlights. Your beach, your stars, your moment of awe is out there. The data has shown you the how, and your own curiosity has provided the why. Now, it is absolutely essential that you take action. Start that planning today. And if this deep dive has given you value, if you can now see a simple night at the beach as a potential journey to the edges of the cosmos and the depths of your own mind, then you must solidify that connection. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell. Because this is just the beginning. I am dedicated to creating more of these meticulously researched, experience blueprinting videos that don't just show you beautiful places, but give you the intellectual and practical tools to truly know them, to understand the science behind the splendor, and to forge your own authentic connection with the wonders of our world. Your next adventure, and the profound perspective shift that comes with it, starts with a single click. Do it now.